Professor Bidapo Bay, a very long time ago, he said they were concentrating more on how to teach than what to teach.
Welcome once again to another beautiful segment here on Noble TV Live. My name is Valentine Agogo, and I'm here on set with Mr. Augustine Omilo. You're welcome, sir. Always good to have you on set.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
today we have a very serious topic. All right, and it's about the relevance of our educational curriculum in Nigeria and at the world at large, because most of our curriculums we get them from the Western world. Then some we don't even get them up to the standard of the Western world that we're trying to copy. All right, so it's cause for concern because the preferences in our schools are not actually thoroughly and literally building the future of our young ones to become what they end up turning out becoming in the nearest future, which cause for worry, cause a lot of concern. So I'd like you to just quickly talk about it.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about the educational curriculum in the country?
You see, our educational curriculum, as a matter of fact, is poorly planned, as it were. Because if you look at the certificate to come up from the schools and what is obtainable in the society, you discover that there are two different things entirely. For instance, now you will see a lot of persons, when they are in school, instead of going straight to the point, what you are studying, you begin to study some other things that are not necessarily what is part of that course. Professor Bidapo Bay, a very long time ago, he said in the Faculty of Education, University of Lagos now, he said they were concentrating more on how to teach than what to teach. You understand? The theory of how to teach.
Yes.
And so, you come out with a Bachelor of Education, Chemistry, which means you are concentrating on education, that is how to teach.
How to teach, yes.
Instead of a Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, emphasis on education. Do you understand? Now, it cuts across every other segments of the studies. So, a lot of persons, the man that discovered the electricity bulb, that's Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison had only 3 years of formal education, which means in our own case here now, maybe like primary six. Yes, it was his mother that actually taught him how to read and write. He didn't go to school. So, but in our own case now, you have to go to school, and despite going to school, you still come out to study and be taught by people like Thomas Edison. That's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, so the educational curriculum is wrong.
There are some countries in the world right now that actually don't exercise what is called examination.
Yes.
They train the students, they teach them, they make them understand the nitty-gritty and whatever you decide to be.
Yes.
You go through the main process immediately.
Yes.
They don't start dilly-dallying around different topics, say we're touching this, you need to have a background on the history. Mongo Park died in River Niger, this one died, London Brothers did this, Mary Slessor did that. Please, how is that supposed to help me become an electrical engineer? How? I just want to know how that will make me an electrical engineer.
It doesn't.
It's a total, in my own opinion, I feel it's a total waste of time, because we're talking about for the primary and secondary education now, we have 3 terms.
Yes.
3 terms. Yes. Each term is about 3 months plus. So just imagine what is being wasted.
Yes. A young man a long time ago was in the university studying business administration. And most of the time when they come to class, they were teaching them mathematics. And when you say mathematics, further maths. So the young man raised his hand and asked the lecturer, I say, now, what is the essence of mathematics in this our course? The man said it's good for you to build your brain and all that. And in case you come for your master's degree, the boy said, God forbid. Well, in this one, I'll come. Mathematics.
So that's to come for masters.
So business administration, you have to learn how to manage people.
Yes.
If there are financial issues, how to resolve them.
You have to resolve them.
Now you are studying mathematics as though you want to become a computer programmer, as though you want to become an engineer. So now those things that you are supposed to do to actually make you an expert in such areas, you do less of them.
Do less of them.
And do more of the things that distracting. So the fact is, the fault in our educational system is, what is in most cases causing problem in our so-called unemployment situation. because people just go to the school, they come back with a certificate very soon. Very soon, I can assure you, very soon, it will be a challenge for somebody to come to the society and say, I have a PhD. You know, people will be laughing at you. PhD?
Yes. How many years of your life?
PhD, you spent doing what? And at the end of the day, you come to a place now, and maybe somebody is helping you to pay your house rent. And the man who is employing you did not even go to secondary school and all that. So people are now getting to know that it is better to equip yourself with skill, even if you have to go to. It's very important to go to school.
Yes,
very important.
Yes, very true.
But if you have to go, let the educational system be so targeted that people will go to school and come out with something that whether you have a white collar job or you don't have, you should sit down and be able to get yourself something doing.
I remember Steve Jobs saying something about him having to drop out of school because he realized he knew more than he realized he was wasting his time in school. And we have other great people in the world who are very wealthy today, who have decided, like Elon Musk and the others, who have decided to focus their education of the children on the professional angle. You know, I was discussing with you earlier before we came on set. I said, just imagine, let's have a picture of this, for instance. I'm not against education, please, so I don't want anyone to take it out of me and say this guy is against the educational curriculum in Nigeria. No, I just believe we can do better. Imagine during the long holidays, and you put your child in a computer school. That's just one course now. Trying to learn how to handle the computer. The child spends 1 month. In 1 month, the child can achieve a lot. Imagine that child now, still on that same computer, spends 3 months. You will be amazed at what the child would know in 3 months. Just imagine 1 year learning only computer. No need going, touching this, touching that, doing this, doing everything. Just learning and exploring computer. You can imagine what our kids do with our phones nowadays. You'll be amazed. Your children will just hold your phone and be doing things. You wonder, how did it get to this point? How did it get to this point? To show you how vast their brain functions. Then you take them to school and you water down that sharpness with a lot of history, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of, say, your Montessori and all that. Then you forget what the child actually wants to become. And this is the time for you to mold that child. So that in the not too far future, like in his teens, early teens or late teens, the child can actually become what he or she actually dreamt becoming. So you see, that's the line of which I'm coming concerning our curriculum. What can be done? What can the government do to speed up our education, to make our educational system worth it, to make it more credible? Because we have a lot of graduates today who came out of school and they don't even know the practical part of what they studied. They don't know the practical part of what they studied. So how can we sharpen our educational sector?
First of all, we have to agree that the planning of education is faulty. Because if we don't agree, we'll keep on working as though there is no problem. If we agree that there's a problem in that area, now if you now convene an education summit like it was done in Delta State, I think about 5 years ago or so, you know, and everybody will come and present papers, the way forward. And in presenting papers, you don't have to invite people who are already in the system, who are used to something. You know, there are a lot of persons that are not ready for change. So they keep talking about something that is no longer relevant. So, but if you bring in new people, you know, people from even outside education, they tell you what happened. For example, now you can't be talking about how to make money, you know, as a graduate, without involving Dangote, without involving Beto,
all of them.
You are talking about how to make money.
To make money.
A professor is teaching you how to be self-employed. Meanwhile, he's afraid of resigning from his employment.
He can't even dare.
Now you're organizing lectures for people to be self-employed. You are bringing in a permanent secretary. The permanent secretary is targeting 35 years before he will resign and become self-employed. So you have to bring people who have raised the challenge, and maybe looked at opportunities outside and said, no, civil service is not for me, and he left. And you see him now making waves. You bring him to tell people, the young ones now, what to do, and he'll tell you the nitty-gritty of business and financial education. But if you are bringing people who are just very comfortable in the office, to teach you how to
do about this,
convene education summit and let people come from outside. Though you bring some people from within to teach people how to actually make this curriculum work.
Yeah, but don't you think that this has to do with a global reforming? Because I think Africa actually picks from the Western world everything they do.
Yes.
All right, and Nigeria is not left out.
Yes.
Right. Before now, we didn't have Montessori, but now most every school has become Montessori schools.
Yes.
All right, picking up the educational system, the Western world,
Yes.
and all that. So it's not something we can just dump and pick up this new style.
Yes.
How do we? Because a lot of people are against homeschooling. Are against homeschooling because some students who have gone through homeschooling come out better than even the ones who went through the four walls of the institution, whether primary, secondary, or tertiary.
Yes.
All right, because they just go through homeschooling, the parents are drilling them, they don't have any break period, they are doing this, doing that, solving this equation and doing that, okay, go to the practical, solve the computer, do that. Before you know it, in 4 years, 5 years, where this child who did homeschooling speaks, even those who have spent 15 years studying that cannot even actually stand it because the child was not given the luxury of time to say, okay, you want to spend all this time, you have to go through it. The brain can actually accommodate more than we can imagine.
Exactly.
Brain can accommodate more than we can imagine. So how do we solve it? Because it's a foundational problem. It's not just in Africa now because we borrow.
Yes. In fact, although we are really solving it a little by little, though, because if you look at the music industry now, we used to import music like music from Jamaica, Bob Marley,
the Western world to America, and the rest of them.
I mean, people like all those. I can't remember all of them now. Those are disco. We're getting them from America. But today now we have our musicians in Nigeria here now that we're actually enjoying. Now taking it from there, it means that if our educational planners will look inwards and see those things that we look out for in the US, in the UK, and everywhere, and see how they can bring them to Nigeria here and see how it works, how it can work. We can begin to make impact. We were having a Volkswagen of Nigeria those days, and they are not working. It's not working now. Peugeot is not working. But to have something that is working, what is the secret? It's a Nigerian bred technology. If you look at Ibeto cement, you look at Dangote cement, they are different from the kind of cement factories that we used to have in those days. And they are working. So if we look inwards, let these people that have succeeded, practically speaking now, in their areas, tell the educated people what they have been doing to make them successful. Blend them with the educational system when the way to succeeding.
Thank you very much, sir. Part of the secret of the successes in the Western world is the fact that they don't actually hesitate to put those who actually have the skill and the know-how in relevant positions, irrespective of whether you have the qualifications or not. Now, that has to change for Africa, where all that we consider is the degree qualification, not those who actually know how to get these things done. Because if you get those who actually know how to get these things done in the right positions, they will teach people and you will get faster results. All right? The time you spend in training somebody 15 years in school, somebody else has actually gotten that job done in 5 years. All right, so we need to step up the time. We don't have the luxury of time anymore. We're trying to catch up with the Western world. We're trying to leave that level of underdeveloped or developing to developed. That is the fastest route to get to these destinations. I really hope that this particular content gets to the relevant sources and we start thinking outside the box instead of doing what we're told, as we've always done by the Western world. With all due respect to the Western world. All right, so this is where we draw the curtain for today. From us here at Noble TV Live, do like, share, drop your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. And please do remember to click on the notification button for subsequent similar content. Thank you.